Hi, Carolyn Porter here, and I'm doing this video on the differences between an abundance mindset and a scarcity mindset. And I know we've talked about abundance mindset before in these videos, but I was inspired to do this one based on a story I heard from Paul Hutchings, who hosts our morning mindset calls. And so he was talking about an evening that he was spending with two of his children, and he decided to make it ice cream day. So he got two flavors out of the freezer, and he asked the older child, I think he was the 5-year-old, which flavor he wanted. And the kid said, I want both, Dad. And so Paul said this brought up a passage he had read in a book that he's been reading by T. Harv Eker. The book is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And so the passage that he that brought to mind was something similar like this. People that thinks from a millionaire or an abundance mindset will, if they're given a choice of two things, they will take both of them. They don't see why they need to choose between the two. Whereas a person that is thinking from a scarcity or poverty type mindset will automatically start rationalizing which one they can have, and they're going to choose based on the state of their bank account at the moment. And so Paul said to his son, sure, son, you can have both of them. And I thought, what a great story that he actually had that experience with this child, where the kid had experience where it taught him that he could have what he wanted. Even if it was two different ice cream, he could still have what he wanted. Something so simple, but yes, it's teaching how to have this kind of mindset right now, where you're not putting limits on yourself. And so what I wanted to talk about was the differences between the two. What's the thought pattern of a person that has an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset? Well, if you're thinking from a scarcity point of view, right away you're thinking lack. You think that there's not enough to go around and that you have to choose between whatever you want to get based on what the state of your bank account. And you think that if a lot of people are saying that 1 or 2% of the people have all the income, well, you think that you can't get it because they already have it, because there's a finite amount of supplies or prosperity or whatever you're going after out there, and that you can't get your share, you can't get a larger share if somebody else already have it. So you have to split this pie up between all the different people. And sometimes that a person with a scarcity mindset may look on those people that have a lot and look envious on those people that have it, and then thinking, why can't I do this? And they will, let's just say that you're given a choice between two things, and you're the first thing you got to think about is, okay, how much money I have, which one can I buy? So you'll probably pick the cheapest one. And if your bank account can't support any of them, you probably will say, no, you know what, I can't have this right now. I can't afford it. And the person that is thinking from an abundance mindset thinks in terms of possibilities. Given a choice of two things that they want, they will say, well, I want both of them. Why can't I have both of them? And then what they'll do is they go into the thought process of, if the bank account doesn't support it right away, they'll say, you know what, I am going to get this. This is what I want. What do I need to do to get it? What can I change? How can I get this? And start asking themselves those kind of questions, because they're thinking about infinite possibilities, right? And when you start asking yourself those kind of questions, your mind will go into thinking mode, and it'll bring you experiences to satisfy what you're asking for. Ask and it is given. And so the abundant mindset person thinks in terms of infinite possibility. They're not thinking about competition, because they know that they create their abundance through their thinking. Because the mindset, the abundance mindset and the poverty mindset has nothing to do with how much money you have. It's about how you think about the money, how you think about how you can get the money. So the person with the abundance mindset is thinking about infinite possibility. They know that they create the money. They would not look at the people that have a lot of money and be envious of it. They will look at that as an example for them. Well, that's going to inspire me to get more. If this person can do this, I can do it too. What I need to do is find out how they're doing it, and then I'll go about doing the same thing too, because you're creating your abundance creatively and not getting it from someone else. It's a win-win situation for abundant mindset people. Now, if you find yourself in any of these categories, and you either highly abundant or you could be moving into abundant mindset and you want to expand it more. That's my position. Or you are just in a scarcity mindset and you don't seem to be able to get out. You can change this. All of this can be changed by you. And I'll tell you what I've done. I've created. I have 3 or 4 practices that I do to keep me moving into a more and greater abundant mindset. Because let me tell you, when I first started on the internet, I came on the internet to look for a way to get leads for my offline business. And I didn't know internet marketing then, and I did know that that was a great tool. I was going to use it as a tool to get people to my other business, right? So I knew I could use it as a tool, but I had to learn the skill set, and I didn't know it. So I had to buy some programs before I found this company. I had to buy some programs to teach me some of the skill set, and I had to spend money for it. And some of them were kind of costly. But you know what? I knew that if I learned this skill set, because I realized that the internet was a really powerful tool that I could use to expand the business, and I knew that if I learned this skill set, I could make that money back 10 times or even greater than that, 100 times. Over and over again, that will pay me back. So I went, and spend the money to buy these tools. So you have to think like that. You have to think of the possibilities. How can it serve you? Not right at this moment. How can it serve you on and on and on and on? The first thing you have to do is you got to take responsibility for where you are. You can't blame your parents, or you can't blame the people that have the money, or the leaders, or the companies, or whatever. You need to give yourself the freedom to empower yourself. Empower yourself by moving out of that poverty mindset into an abundance mindset. So what you need to do is just take stock of where you are. And if you are in a poverty mindset right now, then make a decision to change it. And then act on changing it. Because to be truthful, people can tell you what to do, and people can, and you can say that people caused this to happen, or people can tell you how to get out of it, but that really is not going to change it for you. The only way it's going to change is if you make the decision to change it. It is all up to you. So that's one thing that I did. I made a decision that I was not going to be in that kind of mindset. I was not going to be in that kind of mindset, and I would do whatever it takes to move me out of that. So I gave myself the freedom to empower myself. And then the second thing, here's a beautiful practice. I've been using this for quite some time now. That is gratitude, and I'm adding to the gratitude, giving of yourself. So gratitude, what you can do is find something to be grateful for every day. Some people even keep a gratitude journal, and what they do is they write down 5 things that they experienced the day that they were grateful for. And that's a good practice, because the more you look for stuff to be grateful for, the more you list the stuff that you're going to be grateful for, and the more you feel that gratitude in your heart and soul, the more you're going to receive things to be grateful for. So you may start, and you may be hunting to get 5 things that you were grateful for today, for that day. And then at a point you will be where you have so many things that you're grateful for, you can even list it as way more than 5. So that's the point that you want to get to. And when you do this gratitude, when you look for these things to be grateful for, and you say your gratitude, and you're going in gratitude, make sure that you're going in it through your feeling nature, because gratitude, if it has to be felt in order to change your state. Because what you're really trying to do is change your state from some limited state to something that is great, to a grateful state. And I want to tell you a story about gratitude. For me, how I use it. A few years ago, I was in the public school system, and I had a practice that I used to do every time I get new classes in there. So when I have new classes, I had this ritual that I do, and for the most part, I had middle school kids, so they were really a different creature. You know how they're young and they're beginning to realize who they are and all that, and they have hormones that are kicking in. So they were unique in that they were kind of rambunctious. But I had this one class that was particularly rambunctious, right? And I had this practice that I used to do. I used to energetically put calming energy in my room. I had my tuning forks and all this other kind of stuff. Anyway, I energetically cleared the room every time before that class came in. and just brought calming energy in there, because this is the beginning of the year when I first got them. I'm trying to train them to be a certain way, energetically. And so I remember one day when they came in, and they were quite rambunctious, and I was like, I could feel Miss Ego trying to rise up and was about to, just reprimand them really strongly and firmly. And I didn't want to go there with them because I wanted that different kind of energy. I knew that if I brought that up in out of myself, that I would get it back from them, right? So I remember I was looking, and so I said, let me find something that I'm grateful for. And in the moment, in the heat of the moment, when the ego is trying to rise up and do that, I had to find something that I could truly feel grateful for and feel it in my heart and my soul. And I'm looking around for something in that state. And the only thing that I could latch on was a pencil sharpener. I used to have one of these metal pencil sharpeners that you sharpen the pencil, and they didn't have a big receptacle that catches the shavings, right? So sometimes it would spill over and all the lead would get on the floor, and it was right kind of close to the door, so everybody had to walk past that. And it would be kind of slick on the floor, and I'd ask them to give me an electric pencil sharpener. I remember when they brought it down, and I was so grateful and happy that I had this pencil sharpener, because I didn't have to worry about keeping an eye out to see whether people are walking by and whether I had shavings on the floor and all that stuff, because of the safety hazard that was, right? And so I latched onto that, and I started thinking, that pencil sharpener was so great. I was so grateful if I had that. That was so good for us, blah, 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 on and on and on and on. And I started calming down, and I'm putting that energy out in the room, right? And the children, without me reprimanding them at all, just calmed right down with me, and everything was beautiful. So gratitude is really great, because when you get it and you feel it, you can spread it out to everybody that's close to you. And also I wanted to say, I said gratitude and giving. Practice being in a giving nature. I know if you're in a poverty mindset right now, if you feel that you don't have much to give, or you're new to this, to whatever you're doing, and you don't feel that you have a lot to give, you can give of yourself. You can give a smile. You can give a hello. You can just give something to the world. And when you start giving, again, just like gratitude, you'll find more that you can give in. Giving really is the beginning of receiving, so you have to give to receive. So that's the second practice that I do. So I had giving and gratitude. And the third thing that I do, and this is going to take some discipline on your part, and the third thing that I did, and I still do it, is that if I ever find myself thinking from a poverty mindset, like, I have to choose, I don't have enough, I stop it right away. And I start asking myself the questions: what can I do to get this? How can I get this? What do I need to give to get this? And I continue to do that. And then, believe it or not, your mind find ways to bring situations into your life that you can use to get what it is that you wanted. So practice that, and that's you're gonna have to be disciplined for that. So a lot of people use a whole bunch of ways in which to catch themselves when they're thinking these negative thoughts. People put a rubber band on their arm, and they just pull it every time that they think one of these negative thoughts. If you need something like that, you should do it. But you really need to find a way to start thinking positively about the things that you want, instead of automatically going into the mode of thinking, I can't have it. How can I have it? What do I need to do to get it? And your mind will give you some answers to those questions. And so that's my take on the abundance mindset. It is something that you can cultivate and create in your life. It is there to be created by each and every one of us. And if you enjoyed this video, comment below, and I will see you on the next one.